Normally, when you're on Dexter's table, you do not escape with your life, but thankfully for Jisoo, he was on Daeyeol's table, and not Mr. Morgan's. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here for episode 7, season 1, the one and only season, Extracurricular. So here, after the fallout of the last episode, we'd Mr. Lee basically getting the shit kicked out of him. He did get an axe to the back, which normally kills most men, but for Mr. Lee, it only puts him in a critical condition. So we see the show begins with Minwee and Mr. Lee hiding in a car nearby the attack from the gang, Daeyeol's gang. Out of options, Minwee decides to phone Detective Lee. It's not great that she's given herself up to the detective that's been harassing her about the whole prostitution ring, but, it's either that or probably get found by this gang, and at the same time, probably needs to keep Mr. Lee alive as well, because like I said, when you get an axe to the back, then you're not really going to be, in good shape. You probably need a hospital.
We've heard of an arrow to the knee, but an axe to the back is what we've got in Extracurricular. Uncle, don't know if he's 41, we don't know if he's 81, he's somewhere in the middle, I'd say.
I think he's 65,
which is
mental, because he looks about 40, but...
not many 65-year-olds take an axe to the back.
No, not many. A lot of people don't get to 65, but I take it if you're going to get hit with an axe every day of your life, then you're probably not going to last that long. But we see Gyuri then arrives at the hospital. She spots Minwee and Mr. Lee, but she doesn't spot Jisoo, and she begins to worry about where he is. And I'll tell you where he is. He's about to get an axe to the arm. So yeah, he's on the table. He's on Daeyeol's table because Daeyeol believes that Jisoo has been sleeping with his wife, Mi-young. He's got the proof. He phoned Jisoo's phone, and Jisoo's phone was going. So it's pretty much that. If you phone the number of the number of the person that's been sleeping with your wife, then normally if their number rings, you've got your man. But when his wife reveals that she's never met this kid before, and why the fuck is he tied in their banana karaoke club to a table with axes and saws and all these other cutting devices nearby, he begins to realise that something more is going on. And this guy's very protective of his wife, and obviously he wants to kill the man that slept with his wife, but shouldn't he be a bit more worried about why his wife's sleeping around? His wife treats him like shit. For a gangster, his wife.
Yeah, it's almost like...
but probably doesn't help that he's about 4 foot tall, but
how serious can we take this guy when his wife runs the show? It's like, no real serious threat lets his wife run the show. And you're bang on the banana in the banana club, I tell you that for free, because when the phone goes... all bananas lead to this guy.
Yeah, so we begin to see him making a cut to the arm, but then Jisoo admits the truth around everything, and he says that he's just a middleman and that he acts as security. So he's basically going with the whole security thing. He believes that he's not a pimp. He's just a security officer for different clients. He sets up the meets. He keeps people protected. Then Daeyeol believes that the guy that he put an axe into the back, that he's the man that slept with his wife, but turns out that's not the case either. So yeah, then we get Daeyeol and his assistant, his little sidekick, his number 2, Doogie. And this guy's got the intelligence of a rock, I'd say.
Yeah, a really unintelligent rock. There's more rocks intelligent than this guy.
A rock covered in moss and seaweed.
I think this sequence just lasted though a bit too long. It was like, how long is this guy going to be sitting on the couch with these two? I'm losing IQ.
It was more funny though than I felt like his life was in danger.
No, I know.
So he discusses how he operates the phone, all this stuff, and how he sets up the business, what the advantages are of doing it online, and when he reveals that there's no rent, these two lose their shit.
No rent?
No rent! I don't know why they got... obviously if you don't have a place of business, if you don't have like a fixed location, then you can, afford on paying taxes and rent. So, yeah, they discuss that, and that they want him to work for them, but then he phones Uncle. Obviously he is Uncle, so he can't pick up, Jisoo can't pick up, but Gyuri does, and she makes a deal that Jisoo can temporarily work with these two, and he's going to set them up basically in the same sort of business. They'll work together in the meantime, and that will protect him. That will, spare his life, I guess. Doogie thinks they should just kill him anyway because he knows too much and he's seen too much, but I think the promise of potentially making Daeyeol's business better than it currently is, and the money It's a tempting offer, so they decide that they'll keep him alive for now. But, you know...
It makes sense to keep him alive because he's profitable. But once he becomes unprofitable, he could be dead.
Yeah, then when we tells her boyfriend, Kitai, that she's been sleeping with people for money and she basically does it to provide all his items, his gifts, his smokes, his whatever he wants. The reason she can get it for him is because she has to sleep around with older men, and apparently he already knew. And he didn't really give a shit. He was happy for her to do this as long as it meant he got what he wants. She thinks that makes him a piece of shit.
I think it makes him a fucking weirdo.
And and he threatens to tell everybody if she walks away from him, to which she does, and so tells him to fuck off. So yeah, he says he's going to tell the entire school. That won't really do much for her career or her reputation. Jisoo, when he eventually does make it out, he speaks with the teacher, lets him know that he's alright, but he's not happy that Gyuri has basically partnered him up with criminals. He was offering to basically show them how to do it, but instead she went full in and committed to a partnership, but that's because all their clients left the chat room because they were out of options, because they had another deal in place, and she realised that if they didn't start up a partnership with DONG-HEE, then they wouldn't have any girls, therefore they wouldn't have any money, therefore they would have absolutely nothing. So yeah, she decided to, you know, I guess make an executive decision on her own to partner up with the scumbag of the Banana Club, but will that turn out to be good? Probably not. At the hospital, Mr. Lee's still laying there, not dead, but almost dead. The police are waiting to speak with him. The police actually want to check the phone, but we can't do that. Detective Lee's outside. I mean, there's Detective Lee and Mr. Lee, so we've got two Lees here.
A lot of Lees.
A lot of Lees. A lot of leeway. But her partner says you can't be checking the victim's phone. You'll get crucified for that, which I guess maybe is true.
You would, of course you would, because there's no warrant or nothing like that. No probable cause.
Yeah, obviously Mr. Lee asks Min Wee to find his phone, but she can't find it because Detective Lee's got it. So Detective Lee has got Mr. Lee's phone.
Is it not mad though how...
Lee by name, Lee by nature, Lee by phone.
Is it not mad that if she found incriminating evidence on his phone, no matter how damning, it wouldn't be worth a damn?
Because I wouldn't be able to use it, really.
You found it through unethical methods. I mean, that's mental, man. Court of law's corrupt.
No, yeah, I agree. So Detective Lee then pretty much, I mean, she knows that there's something going on here with those sex trafficking schemes, so it is what it is. We then have an argument with Gyuri and Jisoo. Jisoo's like, this is alright for you, you just sit back, you collect half my money that I've built, that I've earned, I'm the one in danger, I'm the one that's going to take the fall, I'm basically the one that started this, I'm the one that runs this, I'm the one that has to deal with all the consequences, and you just sit back, silent partner, and you make all the money, and it's not right, and you put me into this big pile of shite with DO, to which she says, right, well, never mind, I'll handle the cycles myself, I'll deal with it.
Yeah, which isn't exactly, I mean, he's almost got out here, but then he's like, oh shit, I can't really be allowing her to do that.
Yeah, so, I mean, she says she's going to deal with DO, so we'll see what happens. Gyuri's going to deal with DO. Jisoo's shitting his pants because these guys know who he is now. They know his name, pretty much know everything about him. Don't really see how he's going to get out of that. Detective Lee's closing in. She's got the phone, can't use it, but she pretty much knows something dodgy is going on. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens next time. But it's time to give the episode a rating out of 10. I'm going to give it a 6. I mean, I do think it maybe dragged on a wee bit with Jisoo being captured, but I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny, but I mean, maybe they're not supposed to be like hardened criminals. I think
yeah, maybe that's it. I mean, they're going up against kids at the end of the day. If they were hardened criminals, it would be a bit uneven, wouldn't it? So maybe the mentally deficient going up against the kids is what we're going to have in the last couple of episodes. But anyway, I'll give a 6 as well. That's fair enough. Alright guys, 6 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. That is it. Fog Entertainment. Leave a like, leave a comment. Hit the subscribe button. We've got lots of vids coming up, man. There is theories. There's got Dexter Original Sin reviews. Got Game of Thrones theories. You've got characterless Dexter. Fear the Walking Dead. Squid Game theories. Season 3 coming out later this year. Good stuff. We've got
the return of The Walking Dead, the return of Sons of Anarchy, the final season, Season 7, the last and final season. And then, of course, we've got the last season, Season 6 of The Sopranos. So lots of good stuff coming. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.